Later this week, we will have a full debate on the Independent Review Group's report on the Defence Forces in Dáil, which is the right and proper place. However, given this morning's government decision and the high level of genuine public concern on the issues involved, I want to provide an initial response to the report and set out how we as a government and I as Tanaiste and Minister of Defence intend to proceed. The Defence Forces have been a very important part of Irish life since before the foundation of our state. In modern times, they have been central to the presentation of Irish foreign policy in the world and our record as a nation strongly committed to the rules-based international order. For almost 70 years, Irish soldiers have made an honourable and internationally recognised contribution to United Nations peacekeeping efforts. We were reminded just a few short months ago of the tremendous cost that this work can bring. And as we face the emergence of myriad complex threats to our national interests and see what is happening on Europe's eastern borders, it is clear that the health, sustainability and strength of our defence forces is a question of fundamental national importance. In this context, the report of the Independent Review Group into the Defence Forces makes for stark reading and raises the most profound issues. Established at the beginning of last year to examine issues relating to sexual misconduct, bullying, harassment and discrimination arising from a series of very serious allegations, the chairperson and her team have performed a vital service. They have pulled no punches. Their work and their report is a watershed moment for our defence forces. The IRGDF has compiled a comprehensive account of the culture and work environment that exists within the defence forces in 2023. And to be frank, notwithstanding the work of the very many good people who serve, the report makes clear that the culture and work environment that exists within the defence forces in 2023 is simply and entirely unacceptable. Bullying, misogynistic behaviour and any form of sexual misconduct have no place in any workplace in this country. While this report addresses both men and women's experiences, the experience of many women in particular within the Defence Forces has been appalling. At one point, the report summarises, women are viewed as occupying a low status in the Defence Forces. The report records this fact in very straightforward and sometimes harrowing terms. Wrongs that were done to both men and women were then compounded by the internal complaints process. Again, to quote the report, respondents cited making a complaint as being career-ending and reported experiencing intimidation and acts of retaliation when they did make a complaint. Elsewhere, the report concludes, the IRGDF's analysis reveals a workplace where self-worth and value are negated and disrespect is a dominant feature in an organisation resistant to change. Today I say resistance to change is no longer an option and will not be tolerated. As Tanaiste and Minister for Defence, I am absolutely determined and fixed in my view that this report must be and will be the catalyst for the transformation of Ireland's defence forces. Today is a very challenging day for our defence forces. I understand that, but it can also mark a new start. To those whose courage in coming forward prompted this review and all that will now flow from it, I want to thank you. In particular, I want to thank women of honour, women and men of honour, and all those who came forward, and made the difficult decision to share what happened to them. I want you to know that your fortitude and personal bravery is genuinely appreciated.